All right, welcome back. We are going to build another brand today using Gemini Nano Banana Pro. And the goal is to go from idea to a visual brand identity in about 45 minutes. Today's brand is for an AI automation agency and called Trigger. I don't think they have a
Ooh.
website up yet,
Mm-hmm.
but cool name, cool concept. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it. We're going to move fast today, so follow along. I've got a slightly different workflow we're going to go through, but the goals are to clarify the visual direction, get ideas for design and marketing, and then get the assets needed to build out the online content and sales funnel. Sound good, Steph? How are you doing today?
Sounds amazing. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Let's build this AI automation agency. Say that 3 times.
Yeah. So the
Ooh,
workflow today,
we already
gonna
have
be
someone saying hello.
hello,
Hi.
slightly different workflow. We're going to go through the business details, which we have written over here, provided by the customer who submitted this brand. And basically, it's just some basic details about the business. We don't know a lot, don't have a lot to go on, never met this person, never had a conversation. So we're just going to work with the information we have here today and see what we can create. Some of the important things are the description of what they want it to look like down here and what they want it to not look like, which is always useful.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some stuff to work with. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. We're going to go ahead and first do the vibe. So we're going to have the AI come up with ideas for us based on this brief about that brand. So the AI can do the research for us. What is this one? Did we move the text? Well, this is the mood board. I don't know where the text went, but the mood board images. So that's step number 3. Then I'm going to go right into mockups. I've been doing this more, and this is a really, really useful tool. So you can see we've done this with a lot of different brands already, doing these live demos. And the workflow is going from the details to the vibe to the mood board image concepts. We pick one, and then using AI to build out these mockups is really useful. And it's actually a great way to kind of test out to see if you actually like that brand direction. Next up, we'll go ahead and do the written guidelines. So once we like the direction, we can write up more detailed instructions to help the AI going forward understand exactly what we want the brand to look and feel like. And then we can create the brand layers, which are needed to start to create all the online assets. So having the mockups gives you ideas of what you want, but you do need to go ahead and create the assets. So we'll talk about that as well today.
Also, I've seen a lot of you join the mood board method. Yay, we're excited to have you play around with, and with Nano Pro and with ChatGPT, which had, right? Didn't it have,
Nano
didn't,
Banana Pro.
oh, Nano
ChatGPT is doing this
Banana
model.
Pro. Didn't ChatGPT have like an update today?
Yeah, that's supposed to be coming out. I was kind of testing it. Not sure I have the new model yet because they always roll them out kind of slow. So we'll do a full breakdown on that very soon.
Okay, got it. You're laughing at me because I said it wrong.
Nano Pro,
Nano
basically.
Pro. Yeah,
It's
it's
hard to keep
Nano
track.
Pro. Yeah, okay. And
And then also, yeah,
hello.
thanks to Trigger for the nice review. They got the mood board method. So if you want to check it out, you can just get all the prompts and follow along yourself. And I'll just show you guys where they are. So if you want to follow along at any point.
Oh, yeah. Yes, please leave us a review either on the Design Hacker Facebook or you can email it to us.
All right. Inside the course, you have all the prompts. Right here is the library I will be using today. These are awesome. This has got so much stuff and we're adding to it all the time. Okay,
I'm
let's get
just
the clock
yapping. I'll
started.
let you
And
go. Yeah.
yeah, we got to get into it. I just want to go fast today.
Okay, go.
You ready? Okay. And let's do it. So we're going to go ahead and just drop all of this. I'm going to copy that. We're going to paste it into Gemini. Now I'm going to go ahead and go grab the brand vibe report prompt. And I'm going to copy this. What we're going to do is put the prompt in with the brand, basically like the brief or like basic business information here, plus any details about what you want or what you don't want in your look and feel for your brand. So it's going to crunch through the prompt, kind of learn about the business, going a little bit slower than normal. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and get 3 ideas here. So I'm going to type in 2 because I want it to give me a wide range of ideas. And this is something I started doing recently because I found that having the AI think ahead of time can get you more variation in the visual mood boards that you create. So we can see different ideas much faster. I'm going to get a couple tabs open here.
And we have quite a few of you watching in X and watching on YouTube.
Cool. So I'll be talking through this process as we go through it. We're going to get 3 different visual ideas. So this first step is to write out the ideas. And what I'm going to do now is go into another tab or another Gemini chat. We're going to grab a different prompt. This one will be the mood board generator prompt. This is to create the visual concept and try to show us a pretty good snapshot of how the brand looks. So what I'm going to do is take the basic information that we have. You know what? There's not a lot of info, so I'm going to stick with what we have here because this actually, each one of these are designed to have enough information and it actually comes up with ideas. So we have the basic details, the name of the business. It describes kind of the direction of this angle for the vibe in a few words. Then we have the positioning. Okay, so we have some basic positioning and again, enough details in here to where that should be good enough for the AI to give us a pretty effective concept. So I'm just going to paste that in below the prompt. And let's go ahead and run that. I'm going to copy the prompt again, drop that in, and we'll just take the second angle now. And then we'll get, I'll just grab the mood board image prompt. And now we're in about what, it's been a couple minutes. We're going to have 3 different visual concepts to review. Let's see how we're doing. We probably have the first one. All right. Much more clean, very minimal, very basic. But I know that in the request here, we can start to see what the AI was picking up on. So quiet, runs your business quietly. We have intelligent, calm, quiet confidence, precision with soul, the architect you don't see, Scandinavian tech minimalism, the exhale after chaos.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, very simple. This one is not as simple. So we got a very different look. I don't know where it came up with that. Not loving that one.
Amazing. I love all the comments coming in, questions. Keep them coming.
Okay, this feels much more like that exhale, the feeling of quiet, calm satisfaction. Interesting. Okay, this is a little bit more of a human touch. So we can see that cold, very distant one versus...
I don't know. I kind of liked it for that.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at and review and kind of see what we're getting here.
Let us know in the comments which one you like better, 1, 2, or 3. We need to know. And as that's loading, Andrew, I have a question for you.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Have you tried converting this entire workflow into an agent? Huge product potential, I would say.
Yeah, we should chat if you do that stuff because I'm very much focused on doing that in 2026.
Yeah, definitely. You can email us.
Maybe I should talk to Trigger.
Maybe you should.
For building this. Yeah, that's the plan. I'm kind of building out the concept, the workflow, and all the prompts right now, and I definitely plan to streamline this whole thing as some kind of software tool workflow that makes it much faster and easier. So keep an eye out in the future, but for now, we can all just get in the weeds and do it. There are some benefits to just having the prompts and having more control. And just using these simple tools like Gemini. I mean, we're literally using gemini.google.com. You can use the free version and follow along with these prompts. So it's about
Wait,
as
so
easy as it gets.
which one do you like?
Looking at it, I'm not really in love with any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually going to go back and say, I'm going to go back to our first one here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, give me 3 more ideas that are more aligned with the brief for this brand, like what the client wanted, because I'm just not feeling like we're quite there. So try to give me 3 ideas that are slight variations of what the client wants, and try to fit more of the tech futuristic feel, if that's what they wanted. I didn't give it a thorough read, but do your best to come up with some ideas that are a little bit more cutting edge and would capture the attention of the ideal customer.
Yes, if you want Andrew to build your brand, just obviously be a customer of the mood board method, and there's an application inside the product. We can't pick everyone. There's a lot of people that are applying, but feel free to apply.
Yeah, I'll show you where. Inside the product while that is running, there is a section down here in additional resources. Let me build your brand for free. You can just click on that and fill out a quick form.
And then you need to make sure you give us permission and consent, because we're probably not going to pick you if you don't say that.
I want to see what this one looks like. Yeah, you'll have a better chance if you say we can do it on YouTube. We can share it publicly. We don't have to share your name though, like today. Let's run one more. And the clean lab, that sounds a little bit more interesting. So the point here is, if you are not feeling it, did I put the right? Yeah, okay. If you're not feeling it, you can go back and try some more. That's the chat interface. You can just keep asking it and pushing it. I try not to go too much down the rabbit hole, because we've had some people say they made like 50 mood board images. It's not really the goal here, and we're not trying to get the perfect final thing for the business. We just want to get a direction. So right away, I can see it didn't really follow. I mean, I just want to show you guys what it's capable of design-wise. But we do need to reference back to our initial brief here, because I'm not really getting this feel. Maybe, I mean, it's confident, that's for sure, like calm confidence, but we are going to get some of this stuff. And like, definitely one of the results we got was a bit too much of this. And this will be useful as well. I'm going to keep this in the final brand vibe that we create, because it's actually really helpful to give the AI stuff you don't want. This is a bit more of that kind of glossy look.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that one feels better to me.
I like that one.
Mechanical, like I kind of feel more drawn to this one. I like this bronze look too. That's a different feel, and this kind of a warm. It's a little bit warmer. I think it was too cold before. I was leaning towards this one over here just because it was warmer, I think. Where I don't even know what this one is on the left, right? I can't even tell looking at it. So like, are we actually an architecture company?
Like the new one. Yeah, somebody said mood board 1, but ask it to add more color.
Yeah, it was a bit too.
But you did just like enhance it.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like we kind of got that result with number 6 over here. So I'm going to get our little icons.
Thanks for the comment. And then another one is, this is right on time. I'm developing a AAA, so I will use this for myself and future clients. Look at God. And fire emojis. Yeah.
Right on. All right, let's see.
Oh, wait, so which one did we pick?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling these. I'm gonna probably go. This one feels more my taste, if I just had to pick. Now, if I was with a client, I would definitely talk about the pros and cons of each, what they're feeling into. Sometimes you may try to mash things together, or
The
sometimes
other
you'll
one
see things
feels
in the
more
one.
contemporary, the one on the right, on the bottom right, number
Yeah,
6.
unique font here, and I would
Mhm.
look for something like that because I do think that's a cool element of the brand, like a little bit more unique typography, a bold, simple color palette, but it's definitely feels intriguing, like the bronze, kind of like tying that in is I can just see the brand kind of being built out with that little touch of color in it.
Mhm. Dennis Kako, that's bananas. Love it.
What's up, Dennis? The brand master himself.
Mhm.
Dennis, your designs are epic, dude.
Well, I love this. Do you guys like number 6? What do you think?
Yeah, we're rocking with that one.
Okay,
I think we
he's
can all
decided. The designer
we'll
has
just say
decided.
yes. Okay, so what we have to do now is go back and grab the written text. So I believe it was this one. I could go back and look at the actual chat here where we have this like super long prompt, which it follows the instructions really well. Tactile satisfaction. Oh, I like that. Tactile satisfaction. Yeah, that was this one. The haptic feature. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to grab that. And I almost feel like it was written in a way that will give us this output, but I'm going to actually take this. I think the text we're going to roll with going forward, what I'm looking for is the visual. So we have the visual now that I'm going to start to train the AI on, so it kind of knows the direction we want to go in. But I also want the written. It's helpful to have both. So based on this here, I think I want to keep a lot of the information we have, some good information, and we have what we don't want, which I think is also useful. So I'm going to try just dropping this up here. Just get rid of that bold. Okay. This entire description now should be pretty effective. We'll see how it goes. If we need to reduce it down, we can just go with this. But sometimes I like to have a little bit more information about like what the business is. I don't think it has all these details in there. And if it's redundant, that's fine as well. But there are some extra things about what we want. So we may push further in the direction of what we want, and having what we don't want can also be helpful. All right, so let's zoom out and see where we are with this whole thing. We went through step 1 and 2, which we have, or no, 1, 2, and 3. So we got the business details. We had that written out. The vibe, we tested 6 different written vibes, and then we ran it through the mood board image prompt so that we could see what they look like. And then we picked the vibe that we liked. Now I have a more up-to-date written document plus the mood board image. And now I'm going to go ahead and create mock-ups so we can start to see this come to life a little bit faster.
Dennis says, we're looking into AI for our design process. Had a webinar this morning, actually. And then glad you're going this direction, Andrew Lane.
Dennis, where you been? I've been doing this for the whole
You've been
year.
doing this for what, 6 months, a year now? Yeah.
Well, we launched the course in like basically June. But yeah, this has been the year of image visuals with AI for sure. Next year we're going to be, I think, to a point where it can really create the designs.
Oh my God. I don't have to ask you to do it, my things.
Yeah, that's the goal, is once you get this foundation, then it can actually create the actual graphics. I mean, we're pretty much there, but the prompting is the hard part right now. The design skill is clearly there. We just need the consistent, reliable output so we're not wasting our time, because sometimes it can take longer to get the AI to do everything. So I still like the layer concept. Interesting. All right.
Like
That
it?
is one. Yeah, I'm gonna try a couple of these because I like to see the slide deck as the next step here because it can come up with a lot of things all in one go. So I'm going to take a look at this. And this helps you see what the AI is thinking. Whether you like it or not is another thing, but we can see how the AI thinks your brand would come to life
Mm-hmm.
through both written and visual content here. So it's a really good combo of everything. Operational chaos. So it's kind of presenting the problem, the velocity trigger. It's kind of giving us some diagrams, how it works. Obviously, I'm not sure if this is exact, but at least we're getting ideas. So you can kick ideas around in this stage. Pull the trigger. Okay, we got our phrase in there. Systems that click. That's a cool concept. So we're going with it said like tactile kind of feel. So it's trying to showcase that visually, and it's going to use some of that in the languaging as well. Interesting. Okay, so we're getting a very different look. So what I'm seeing from this is I think we have too much conflicting written text. So I'm going to try just using the initial vibe because I think the AI is struggling. Sometimes you don't get consistency if you have too much for it to chew on. And in this case, we had a lot of details about what we want and what we don't want. And it's trying to weigh all that out.
It's too much.
Which it's very hard for it, right? So to help it, we're going to simplify. So this is where less is more sometimes. Oh, you know what happened too? Did I not give it? Okay. I also didn't give it the mood board image. So we see here, it's going to struggle to maintain the look. So what I need to do is try to help it by giving it both written and the mood board. So I'm going to try a couple things here. This is useful for all of you watching too, because you can see why I call it the mood board method. I found that the AI does a lot better if you give it some kind of visual inspiration in addition to written. And then it just comes down to the balance of how much written. Are you confusing it with your written content? Are you giving it too much conflicting information, which I think could be the case here? But you can overcome a lot of that when you show it the visuals. So that could salvage that problem here. But we don't always want to have to rely on the visuals. And that's where the final detailed written instructions are meant to pull that together. So the written guidelines are more in depth. But what I've found recently, especially, is the mockups can help us refine this a bit and get a little bit more on the right track. So we're going to create some mockups here for the next few minutes.
Ooh, I like that.
That's pretty interesting.
Pull the trigger, initiate the flow.
My only concern is that we're getting a little bit busy here where we didn't want some of the things that we didn't want were. Look at this. Okay. So no gears, cogs, robotic arms. Okay. So clearly we are missing the mark with that.
Okay. That's good to see. It's not listening to you.
Yeah, it doesn't always listen, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Let's go back to where we initially made. Let me go find it real quick because we may have to go back to the actual mood board. It gave us a lot of gears, right? So that's not ideal.
Okay, so we have to fix that.
We're definitely missing the mark there. But that's kind of, pivoting and correcting as you go is useful. Where this one actually almost feels better. This last one, I think we just gave it the vibe itself. So I think if we reduce the amount of, this is the other weird thing about AI is if you tell it what you don't want, sometimes it's kind of like they've studied with a subconscious, our own brains. We only see what we do want, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it'll actually add in the stuff you don't want because it said it. So that's very interesting. Let's take a look at all these. Yeah, this one's super like gear focus. This one didn't have the mood board in it. So I want to see what we're getting here. this definitely feels like it's more on the right track. I'm actually not too bothered by it. So let me go.
No, I like that one, but yeah, we have to remove all the little gears.
Yeah, I'm going to reopen the initial,
Mhm.
this one here. And I'll just give it some feedback. Great. Try. Love the look and feel, but we want to avoid using gears. Study our other things to avoid list and create an updated mood board image that is similar but more aligned with what we want. All right. Let's just try running that again. So I did see an improvement in the results. I'm gonna go ahead and just continue in this direction while that's running. We're gonna try another mockup. I'm gonna use just the shorter written vibe. And I'm gonna go grab another mockup. Let's try, for this brand, we're definitely gonna need some kind of like web presence, sales pages. We're gonna need maybe like PDF or like client reports and documents. Emails would be a good one. Let's try a quiz funnel. These are just kind of fun because it's a little bit more of an engaging customer journey. Maybe they're not sure, like the clients maybe need a little bit of education to make sure this is going to help them. Let's see how I can weave that together for us. While that's going, let's look back over here. Oh, there it was. No, this wasn't it. Okay, it's trying that one. Where was, oh, here we go. Okay, that's feeling definitely different, right? Like it's not the cog look. It's a more of a fluid flowing kind of like it's just happening magically feel. Kind of like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Again, we're not trying to get the perfect thing here, but we're trying to get on, in the right direction as fast as possible. So let's drop this in as the updated one. Avoiding the cogs. And let's go ahead and, yep, so we're avoiding that now. We are, yeah, look at that. So we're running into a lot of issues with the other design. So I'm going to actually try the same thing with the new, and then I have to probably look and see what we're getting in here. Is there anything in that? No. Clicking into place. So some of the languaging here. Okay, so I might even use this chat over here to help me. Okay, help us improve our written description to better align with this direction. Here is the current draft. So I'll just paste that in and have it write that again for us. All right, now we have the quiz funnel again, and let's just try with the same one, but the new updated mood board. Hey, Steph, I can hear you typing, so if you
sorry. I was typing comments to people.
Yeah, just mute when you're doing that so we don't hear it. But if there's something you want to drop on the screen too, let me know. I can answer. Okay. Haptic precision, clarity. All right, it'll just give you some good stuff here. So we could also try this as maybe a slightly improved written key adjustments, simple taglines. Okay, cool. And what do we have here? Let's try this, but with this updated written description. And once you get these things dialed in, this first phase is more time consuming. We're getting the visual foundation, which I call the mood board image, and then the written description. So the shorter one is like the vibe, just kind of a quick description. We can expand that once we get it more solidified and we feel like it's doing the right thing. I call that the written guidelines. But right now we're kind of experimenting, and we can experiment fast. Yeah, this is feeling a bit dated to me. That's kind of the problem with that one design where we have
Mhm.
it's picking up on this,
Yeah.
which is starting to feel a little bit dated to me.
Mm.
It could be useful if it had maybe a more modern look. Yeah, some of the textures kind of feel a bit clunky, but some of this, I mean, some of this is good. I think the metallic textures with this kind of like old school stock photo look is not quite jiving with me.
Not
Okay,
you.
so what I might do is
I love the little sparkles. Look, we got hi Lanes, awesome work. Thank
let's
you.
see. And we can grab all this up too, just for, again, if I were, again, working with a client, what we often do is get a big library of stuff and we can at least review it. Because sometimes they're like, you know, I try not to talk too much when I'm working with someone because they just may love it. And I don't want to, you know, step on my toes too much.
Yeah.
You don't really know until they see it. And sometimes you come back and you're like, that was actually good. But to me, it's feeling a little bit heavy and a little bit dated with all this circuitry. And like, I do like some of the glows, some of the colors are pretty good. The typography is nice. Like, this is clean. So I'm liking some of the visuals. And you could, if you do have some design skills, you could start to pull out the things that you like. Like, this is feeling pretty good. That's pretty clean. It's just some of the elements around it and give it that heavy, too much texture feel where it's like, it feels like an iPhone from like 2010. You know what I mean? When they had all the textures.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. So
I may actually give you that feedback.
Yeah. Give it, say like, hey, this isn't a 2010 iPhone commercial.
I'm gonna have to go find that chat again.
We have quite a few people watching from YouTube, so don't be shy. Say hi. Where are you tuning in from? We love engagement.
All right, so I might drop all this in. Sometimes I like to show it as I am working on it to let it know what I'm seeing.
Nano Banana.
Okay, so let's try. Okay, this is definitely better, but I'm getting a bit of an iPhone 2010 look and feel. It's a little bit too much texture. So what I want you to do is try creating a new mood board image that gives it a more modern 2025 look or even more futuristic. So maybe some new design styles, more simplistic, and again, try to follow the client requests as well and avoid the things that they don't want. There was a lot. There was actually a lot on that what to avoid list, so I can see why this would be a challenge because it's very. I'll say like see the images to see what I mean regarding the current version. Blow me away with a new. Let's just challenge it a bit. A new and more modern looking mood board for this brand. Let's challenge it a bit. We're in the weeds today. We are in the early development of this brand. And while that's running, let's see if we can mock up some other ideas. So for this brand, what might we want to see?
Trigger, right?
Trigger, yeah.
Trigger.
We could look at some things like, we definitely need to get the logo stuff figured out. So that could be useful.
Mm-hmm.
The typography would be interesting because I like the typography that we were getting. So there is a new one in here called Brand Font Finder, and I'm actually curious if it can handle this. So I'm going to drop in what we had. Okay, right here. I want to see if it can find that for us because I don't know. And I do like to look for Google fonts. It just makes everything easier when building a brand. I don't do custom stuff because most clients, especially in the early stages, they just need to move fast. And if we start getting too in the weeds of like custom typography and doing things, it slows down the whole operation. So until you have a much more established money-making brand and business, I really try to keep things simple for clients.
Yeah, and Andrew really doesn't like the squiggly ones.
Squiggly, what fonts?
Yeah, the squiggly fonts. Remember when that was really popular in 2015? 2015, any 2015, 2017 fonts he doesn't care for.
Enter, that's a classic. I mean, Enter is a good techie one, so that works. All right, it's giving us super simple. Yeah, I didn't really find that stylized one. So I'd have to go in and try to search. There are some search like features in here. We could filter and start to look for some of these things, which this is where we get in the weeds. And I try to speed this up with AI to avoid going way down the rabbit hole of doing this stuff. But I'd probably have to look at some of the more, what do they call it, monotype kind of fonts, which I'm not seeing that here. Where are they?
I have no idea.
Monospaced. There we go. It's a bit more of that look. And then we could look for, whoops, I know you can
Is
type
my brand in Montserrat? I forgot the name.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Then we can type in, let me pull this up again, visually trgr.io.
Oh, no.
Was that actually a capital T? No, all lowercase t. Can't even like think about how to spell it. That's right? trgr.io. Okay.
Oh, that looks like that font.
Yeah, we're getting, so it's a monospaced type font. It's more crunched. These are going to be a little bit stretched out usually, but you can kind of dial in and find something that would be close enough. Again, these are all free Google fonts, so you can get a pretty good, fairly unique brand here for very low cost. And it does make everything easier. Okay, here we go. Did it blow us away? It just kind of went darker, huh?
I still think it's good. It's just duplicating things.
It feels like it's trying. So we can see it's trying. It does have a more modern feel. I can see some of this down here. I can see the layouts are looking a bit more modern. That's a little goofy, but it's trying to kind of bring some ideas together for us. Textures look and feel. I do think we're improving. So that's at least a good sign that we are getting the AI to help us refine. And sometimes if you're just not hitting it, I would go back and start from square one and just do what I did initially and see, because every time you do it, it's going to come up with new ideas. And if you're just not feeling it, it's like you're not seeing. That's where the mockups help. You can kind of decide quick if you're on the right track. And let's try this one now. Let me get a written description. Great. Now the written description, please. And let's see what we can do. I'm going to close out all these fonts. That would be the process, is finding the fonts manually right now. But let's go back and look at, I like the sales funnel one too, because that is generally where you make your money. When I do the mock-ups, I really like to start with the sales deck and the sales funnel, because that is make or break for pretty much any brand. If you get those looking good, then you have a chance. If you waste your time on all the other stuff and don't get those right, you may just eventually come back around and get back on the right track, hopefully. But this is the money-making stuff, a sales deck and some kind of web page that presents your ideas clearly and effectively. Let's see what we get. All right, I'm going to run that. I'll try it twice to give it 2 chances. While that's running, I'm going to go grab the sales funnel. And let's see what kind of designs we get here. So I'm dropping in the prompt, some written description, and the mood board image. Let's run that one. On this one, I'm going to try just putting the mood board in.
What are you working on? The funnel?
Yeah, we're going to look to see how this is coming together now.
Yeah.
Very different. It feels like the written text is pushing it a little bit more, because it probably, sometimes the visuals don't convey everything, but when it writes it, since we've been in a conversation with it, it is probably going to describe things in a way that maybe weren't apparent in the image.
Mm-hmm. Look, funny, I just finished one of your recordings and found the notification that you are live. Welcome. Yes, we are. Go catch our other lives too.
We're hanging
our
out.
Other recordings. Yeah, we're hanging out. We're building a brand.
Okay, this is interesting.
Ooh, I like that.
This one didn't have
any.
No, it did. This one did have the written. Okay.
Can you zoom in on that one?
Yeah, I'm going to download it.
Okay.
Where was the other one that had? Okay, these were the older. See how we've kind of made progress here.
We've evolved. We've gone through 4 rebrands already.
What happened to my other one? Did I lose that somehow? Okay. This is looking better, and I can see that the combo here, because we're getting some different things showing up in the written and the visuals. Let's go back over here. Start taking a closer look.
Look at this. From Queenpreneur Rachel. I tweaked the quiz funnel prompt you made for me to make a book funnel prompt. Thanks for the excellent example prompts. Ooh. Amazing.
Oh, here it was. This was the one that had, no description. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And that's kind of the cool thing too, is once you get all the prompts, like you can tweak and definitely like chat. I mean, anything you want, you can start with these
Andrew's prompting is insane, isn't it? You guys have seen his prompting? It's so insane.
Some of them are simpler than others, but the mood board is where I spend a lot of time. This prompt is really key, because what I'm trying to get it to do is follow a system that I've developed for clients. So like the way that it is creating these color palettes is unique to my approach for brands. And I've built hundreds of brands with clients over the years. And I built a whole system to do it, which I guess I could show you at some point today. If you guys want to join the Brand Builder Club, I do stuff like this, where I built a whole system inside Google so we can load in the brand look and feel. And just so you can kind of see, it's similar to most tools, but to me, this is the fastest way on the market to like put a brand together that's got the right look and feel.
You should show it. You've been teasing this for too long. Just do it. Let's finish Trigger. And then once we finish Trigger, the brand, let's show the brand identity kit.
Yeah, I could show the process, because we're going to spend a lot of time on this next year, because this helps speed things up. And this is
Mhm.
how I actually use Google to create everything for my own brand and for our clients, including things like thumbnails. And so once you get a system in place, I'll just show you a little behind the scenes.
Ooh.
Like you can use your system to help you bring your ideas to life. So I kind of like use Google Slides for all my design. And the cool thing about these is we have even the stuff for our sales pages, our website. So I do a lot all inside Google, and it's super easy because we can share it with our team. We can move much faster, and it's just really, really easy. And you have these layouts. So I got a little crazy with these, but you can create these kind of pre-made layouts that have your brand elements really all dialed in here. So it's really fast to create new stuff. I do that for all size images, even our social media banners, square and vertical images for social media. We even do like PDF downloads, slideshow presentations, our videos that you've seen. I use Google Slides for most of that. But this is the foundation. So I try to get to what I've found over the years is getting to this point where you know what you want it to look like. Because just picking colors it's a little bit advanced actually, because a lot of people can't see what this is going to look like. Right.
That's so true.
So
true.
I'm trying to make this easier, and AI is so good at it now. And we can see, and honestly, I built all this with AI because I was so tired of wasting weeks and weeks going back and forth with clients. You've seen here in, well, how long has it been?
46 minutes, but we started
46
5 minutes.
We have really refined the look. And this used to take so much research, so much time and energy and creative effort. And then oftentimes you're starting from scratch because they didn't even like it.
I know, it sucks when it happens.
So I feel like we've kind of landed on something here that I'm feeling really good about.
I really like it. I feel it feels modern and doesn't feel like Apple 2010. It feels modern.
Yeah, this feels way more modern.
What are all the steps? Can you zoom out real quick? What have we accomplished for a trigger? And then also put that mood board text up there because something got erased or something.
Oh, I'll get that later. But we started with some basic info about the business. Mm-hmm. We came up with several different written, what I call vibes, which are kind of just like really rough kind of directions, marketing angles, messaging, how it could look and feel, just different vibes we can choose from. And then we quickly have AI create the images for us so we can see what the AI thinks that looks like. And that's really important. It's kind of just
it took us a few iterations on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we realized we like this direction, but it wasn't quite right. And based on the client specs, and this is just a customer submitted thing, not an actual client. We're just doing these for free, kind of for educational purposes. But again, any project, you're going to have what you want, what you don't want. You're going back and forth. The gears and stuff was a little bit too out of scope with what they wanted. So we tried to refine it down. I got a little bit too into like stock image land. Tried to refine it down and modernize it a bit more using just basic chat inside Gemini. Got it to look a little bit better, but now it's like, okay, are we on the right track? So I had AI also write up what we wanted because sometimes it can't convey it perfectly in a visual. We can try, but it may not quite be there. So what I found is testing that out with these mock-ups, we can actually see some ideas come together faster. And you'll see things too in the mock-ups, like logos and, marketing, sales messaging concepts that could be really useful. So in the mock-ups, I like to look through, how is it trying to sell our stuff, right? And I'm seeing the colors, like this ain't it, right? This just feels a little bit generic looking. Mm-hmm. This one's a little bit more interesting.
I don't think it doesn't feel on brand though, right?
But yeah, now that we've seen something better, this mock-up did a much better job.
I love this. I love this one.
So what are these colors, right? So where do we even go with this? I'll show you this process because this is actually where I go next. And this isn't in the mood board method course. This is what I call the slide design system. That is in the brand builder club. And so this is where we start getting into actually building stuff out. But what I'm looking for
Yeah, let's
is
get into it. Real quick, you have a good comment from Sandra. She says,
Mhm.
"Hey, Andrew, I just spent the last couple of hours building my board with the mood board method, and oh my God, I'm so excited so far. Can't wait to share in the community. Can't believe I
Ooh,
didn't do it
yeah.
sooner."
Share what you're making. I want to see it.
Yeah, share it, share it.
I want to see. It's getting better and better. We got to try out the new ChatGPT image model because that just came out today. So we can do all this in ChatGPT as well. But
All
right
right,
now, Nano
show us
Banana
the slide
Pro
design system. It's been
is where we
enough
are.
time. Let's
Okay,
go.
so what I'm looking for
Let's make
is
us smaller.
three main colors. And I'm noticing a couple things it's doing here. Like this is probably a good starting point. I'm seeing this kind of a gradient, right? So a lot of, especially tech modern brands are very gradient focused. So I have two main colors and I'm just going to kind of grab stuff and drop it in. I'm thinking a kind of solid tan like that. And then this would be kind of the secondary, roughly like that. And now the dark background would be something like, it's interesting. Sometimes these like one colors don't quite grab it. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little bit more like it. Now I'm looking at the light background color. I'm not going to explain in depth what I'm doing here, but I'm just kind of showing you the whole flow. Actually, I think that's more, I would rock with this as the dark background. Let's also use that for the text. And then is there an accent? These are a little bit more refined. Similar though. This is probably the best right here to grab those two colors. So I may try again. Kind of okay. And yeah, I think we've got those colors. Probably like a silver, huh? Would be the other one. I'm not really seeing too much else. Maybe this kind of brown. Let's try this being the other one. And this is not a perfect science right now, but what we can see here is a color palette coming together pretty nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So if we grab all these, we can go ahead and say, all right, that's going to be our primary, our secondary. We've got our dark background. We've got our light background. And then we've got this accent color's not doing a lot, but it's kind of a off, slightly less dark background. And really grays can work for everything too. So not a lot of colors. The only other accent color I may look at is something in here where we do have
that
this
pretty
other
like
thing going
prism.
on. Yeah. So I'd consider maybe grabbing something.
I noticed where you and I are super into this right now, and I feel like in 3-5 months we're going to see this everywhere because we're always
this whole
trailblazers.
What's that? This kind of look?
Yeah, I feel like in like
Or,
3 months, maybe like, yeah, we're going to see it
I think
everywhere.
it's also, I think this Nano Banana Pro model is actually really good at doing this. And it does seem to have a tendency to do this type of art. So yeah, I think you're right. We'll probably see it happening a lot. But gradients in general are like really useful.
You
And
heard it
I'm
here
looking
first, though. Yeah.
Well, yeah, when it comes to actually getting these assets, we can start to drop this stuff in or pull these things out. So what I would actually do is say, okay, this is going to be a core part of the brand. I'm just going to take a screenshot of this whole thing. And then we could do something like this, where I go and tell the AI to give me that as a high res image. So let's go look here. Let's see. Elements, just the background image. itself. Okay, so I'm going to use a prompt like this. Recreate this background image exactly the same, but as a super high-res image, like a pro digital artist created it and is giving it to the client to use for their branding and marketing. No text or any other elements, just the background image itself. That's a very rough, really rough prompt that could be improved. But let me show you what you can do in something like AI Studio. You can create 4K images. So this is just a more advanced version of Gemini Nano Banana Pro. Go over to aistudio.google.com, and for a few pennies each image, you just have to hook up your API and some billing, which you do at once.
If I could figure it out, you guys can figure it out. I did it. I just clicked a bunch of buttons.
So I just wanted to make this background image. And what happens here is you start to build out a library of these assets. So you can kind of build it as you go. You don't have to be, all at once. It depends. If you're in the mood, you can just sit and like crank out a bunch of these, but we're trying to get the assets. So looking back at our diagram here, we're now moving into the brand layers, which are all the things we need to build out your business. And it kind of looks like this. Did I do the wrong ratio? I did 4:5. Okay, well, that's useful. I'll do another one that is 16:9. But that's how you can get these pieces, the pieces that you need. So let's run that. And that's what brand, design are. We're getting all these different things in place to build out the brand. And now AI can generate them rather than go and hunt and like find them and download stock images. Using this whole process I call the mood board method, we are visually generating our ideas and kind of helping the AI bring this vision to life through this process, through these prompts. And eventually you get to a point where you have clarity of what you want to create and how it should look. Mm-hmm. We can see how much we've refined and improved and modernized this brand very quickly. We're getting some of this, which wasn't quite what we wanted. Now we have a much more clean, simple, minimal look, modern. And what I can do now is extract out some of these things. And if I want to go and create designs like this background, right, we can see the pattern here, that kind of stuff. We can get images with that kind of stuff on it.
Question. Does Gemini Studio need a lot of priming and training? I haven't used it much because I'm not getting the results I like.
From my experience, it's pretty much the same as Gemini. So using some of the stuff we've already done today, I train it. I interact with it basically the same. I've seen some people use these like system instructions where you could put in a lot of what we wrote. So I may try that, but I honestly haven't. Let's go and grab.
I don't like being in the studio. When you tell me to go into the studio, I always like to go into the regular one.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, the benefit here, again, we're getting super high res with no watermark.
Is that why?
That's a huge reason to use AI Studio. If you're doing this professionally and you're creating actual assets that you want to like use in client projects.
Well, I just did an image in Gemini yesterday and I look like a vampire. So I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's not good.
I'll send it to you.
This is pretty close to the look and feel, but I would actually go and now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to use this other prompt. So I'm going to do the last thing here, which is I'm going to write all this up. So we have all that written. I have the latest designs here, the look and feel. And do we have a mood board that was pretty close? We were using it for that. Yeah, I think this is probably fine.
Dude, we could have charged this client like, here, $20K. Here's all your assets.
Almost. I mean, the tedious part is now kind of like building out the whole library of assets. There's still work, but getting clarity of the vision and the direction is a big deal.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're pumped about it. I mean, I don't know what they've been working on. I know they were using the mood board method themselves, but it's fun to see like the difference. I'd love to compare what we came up with versus what they created. And if it's at all the same.
I always like what you create instead of what I do. Like, meaning like the foundational stuff. Like you really get my foundational things, and then I can go and execute the social media and sales pages and other stuff.
Okay, this last thing I'm doing is I'm going to get a more detailed write-up that is hopefully good. Again, it all takes some testing to see what's going on. But the detailed write-up should be able to analyze all this. I also gave it the more in-depth vibe that we wrote, so it had some of the stuff that we liked, we don't like. And if you do get in a conversation with like Gemini, like we were earlier, where we're kind of going back and forth, I would usually have it summarize all of it and just try to say, hey, we've gone through a lot. Please write up a detailed description. I would often say something like, write it in a way that I could share with my design team or a designer to have them understand what we want, what we don't want, and how to make our brand look the right way. If you just have it do that, the AI is very good at reviewing everything you've already discussed, and then writing it up is super helpful. Now, I took that and dropped it in to this other prompt, which is designed to write up your visual brand guidelines. This just goes more in depth and writes it out in a little bit more detail to try to have both the written description, and the visual image inspiration that's very unique and on brand. I think we exceeded the limit of the text. Let me drop in.
And you're doing all this on Miro. You're crazy.
Yeah,
Miro
I'm just using
board.
Miro to store all this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put all that in
We should do a training on Miro in the future.
It's kind of just, you just use it. Just try clicking everything. And that's how I figured it out just by.
Hey, Andrew, at one point we had 40 people watching live. That's the most we've had watching live, just so you know.
Nice. That's cool.
We're breaking records here, but a lot of you guys watch the replays.
Yeah, we do these randomly when we're like, let's just
Inspired.
go live and do it. There's no warning. So
we probably should warn you guys, like, hey, we're going to go live at this time, but we kind of just do it and then hope that you guys watch the replay or you're on YouTube.
So that's pretty cool. Look at that. That's looking good. These are like high res.
Wow.
Really custom assets for that brand.
I used to be in Envato Elements like for 4 hours just to look for something similar to that.
Yeah, now we can look at, like, what I like about this is we can start to see, like, okay, what would it look like if we start to like actually do some stuff.
So this is in the club, the slide design system, correct?
Yeah, this is what we do in the club. This is part of the foundation. Mm-hmm. And again, we could start to weave together some of these different pieces. We can start dropping in stuff. This is all mock-ups, but then what we could do is, this one's pretty fun too, because now we can go to, I'll call this GR. We can import the theme into other templates that I have, and we can pull in that style. It would pull in the fonts too. We didn't get the fonts dialed in, but that would be as simple as going into theme builder. This is how I use Google for stuff. So let's just say it was something like that. I mean, it's not, but if we did like we could do a monospace font, and for time's sake, I'll just use JetBrains. Let's try that one out.
JetBrains.
All right, that's kind of cool. And then we'll go with that since that was coming up a lot. Where is IHI enter? Okay, so I'll try that again. Then we could see, like, are the brands right? And maybe I don't like that style. It's not quite what I wanted, but it's at least a quick way to see how it looks. And then you could test further. Again, now that I updated that, we could go ahead and go to theme and grab this, drop that in. Now you can kind of see the whole thing come together. These are templates I use for our sales pages.
I can't wait to be like Podia, because we use Podia. Here's the thing, make my sales page.
Yeah, whatever builder you use. But look how see how it's working. Like they're working together. We're seeing the whole
Ooh,
thing.
yes. It's coming in harmony.
So I'm like, are these assets actually working together? That's the key. And you can see pretty quick, we've actually put together something pretty good. Now, the other one too is something like this, a slideshow builder, right?
For like webinars and trainings and things.
Yeah, exactly. Any kind of presentation, even downloadables, like we have like pitch decks. And so we do a lot of stuff like this with clients. And this is my process now that we've kind of gone through. Now I have a starting point. We've got the look and feel consistent. Now I could also go in and go to view theme builder, and I can drop in some of these things. So if we want a background image in our theme, boom. Now I can actually go to any slide and say, let's use this one, boom. And if we want some variations of that, we could just go and say, let's do a darker one. I just reduce the opacity down. And now that's kind of how I work. Once you have a foundation in place, this stuff gets a lot faster and easier. And that's where we're trying to get is the foundation, the direction, everything looking, feeling right. We like the whole angle, message, vibe, visual appeal of the brand. Now it's like testing ideas. Right? It's all sounds good, but let's take it to market and see what works. Square quotes, right? Like,
wait,
same concept.
Are we done with trigger?
Yeah, I think we've done a lot. I didn't get to, I want to see some logos though. Let me try one more thing and then we'll wrap up. Any questions?
I had to do it.
Let me try one more thing here.
Shoot. Sorry, I'm clicking the wrong buttons.
Spent a lot of time on getting the right direction, but that is very good use of your time. Otherwise, you go very far in the wrong direction, just like a boat who's 1 degree off.
Yeah. So what we did was we didn't really look at the scope, and then we did the gears, and we didn't like the gears, and the client wouldn't like the gears, so we switched gears. Pun intended.
Hey. Where's the drum? Is there a sound effect for that? Not quite. Right drum.
Not quite, but yeah.
Let's see if we can get some logos ideas real fast. I just want to see. Should have a pretty good idea of. So yeah, the mood board method is all about these first few steps. Beyond that, you can join the Brand Builder Club, where I get more into the next steps, which are assuming you have a foundation in place, what do you do with it? How do we start to bring your brand to life? But the initial steps, you can make a lot of money doing this for clients, and every brand needs to do it for themselves. Personal brand, business brands, you do need to have a good foundation. And I've worked with a lot of companies who are kind of there, but not quite. And this can just help you either upgrade what you already have, refine it a little bit more, get more clear, and get AI trained on it so you can come up with ideas quick. So now when we want to imagine a new sales funnel, a new offer, a new sales page, website, you can actually use AI to mock that up and it'll be on brand and look really good.
Absolutely.
And yeah, just so you can see where this goes when we do this with clients. We do the same process for actual paid work and we map it out, get all these assets. We start to mock up all the ideas, the sales funnels, sales copy. We get ideas for the look and the feel. We start to use Nano Banana to enhance and edit the images to get more on brand. So all these assets that we need for the brand, all the background images. And then when you sit down to design, you just drop them in, right? It's just so much easier to like drop in the images. Go ahead.
Can you please do some accent elements?
Yeah, we can do that real quick.
Yeah, let's do it. And then we're going to go have dinner.
Oh, it did not follow. I want it to look more like this one. More like this one. More minimal and modern as well. So you can kind of test to see if it's picking up what you want. This feels like we kind of took a step backward. with some of these textures and feel. Not terrible, but I have to review the written guidelines. Sometimes the written stuff may not be perfect. Okay, let's do a accent elements. Yeah, these are like the symbols and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's drop that in. Go ahead.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to talk about the upgrade, the design hacker upgrade. So if you want Andrew's eyes and strategy on your brand and you really want to build your online brand system, that's going to really help your growth for 2026. Then, and also just like make you look good, make you feel like you're gaining momentum. And then also you work with our team. So it's like 10 hours of our team working on per month, correct? Yeah, working on it per month.
Yeah. It's if you don't want to click all the buttons yourself and you want other people who are trained and pros of this to help you get all this stuff done, that's what it's for.
It's your vision. It's with our team. It's with Andrew supervising. And then just go to the upgrade. You can book a call and it'll be with me, or you can just save your spot right away. So lots of ways for us to help you guys, which we love. I mean, the mood board's been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, their brand's never done evolving. So some of you just don't, you'll get in the weeds of this and you're like, actually, I'd rather just get some help. The club is also there if you want ongoing support. We've had a lot of people join the club recently, and they're like, I just want to be in the, held accountable a little bit, be in a community where people are doing this. And I'm going to be going live every week in there doing Q&A and like behind the scenes stuff. So way more in the weeds of all the more advanced stuff I've been showing you today.
So this is elements.
These were the logo concepts, and yeah, I think what I gave it is too much. So that's again the balance where I'd probably start from scratch and say, and I could download these so we could, obviously they're valuable to look at, but I would probably start from scratch and try something, maybe even using, no, I'll just use this one here. Where is it? There we go. So eventually you're going to get a folder of all this stuff, so you don't have to go like searching around for it. Okay, let's see how the accent, this is interesting. This is a tricky brand. I'm finding this interesting to see. We're kind of getting a mix of different things that could be useful. I kind of want to try this mixboard.google.com. There's supposedly, not this one, they supposedly have updated this recently. It's very hit or miss. It's an experimental free tool that now uses Nano Banana Pro. So if I click on this, I can say, give me each of these images as its own high res.
Look, I just saw a comment. Breaking news, ChatGPT just updated their image model. You can now upload your own image and edit them and create variations of them like you do on Google Nano Banana. Try one. You knew about it right when it started.
Yeah, I didn't have the ability to test it too much today.
Yeah.
I do want to test it. What I've read though is it's like they're calling it 1.5 because it's still using 4.0. It's not using their new 5.0 model or 5.0, whatever they're calling it. So it's smarter. It's a better image model than what they came out with in like March, April. So it's been a long time. But supposedly early next year, they're going to have an even better image model that will be much smarter. Okay, so you saw here, you can do something like what I just showed you. This is using Mixboard. You can kind of drop in one of these and tell it to make all these. I may prompt it better. I could try saying transparent background, which I don't know if it can do transparent, but you could say on a white background or whatnot. So if you wanted pieces like this, these are pretty high res and you can just download them.
Wow.
And I would do the same thing for
that's pretty cool.
The like background. So that's where some of these other prompts are meant to help you extract out these pieces. So I could go and let's see, extract out I'm going to try dropping in both of those. Let's see if we can pull. At this point, we're just, you're seeing what the AI can come up with. So I'm going to see if it can give us a board of background image ideas based on all this stuff I just gave it. And then I would do the same thing. You could individually do it like I showed you earlier for super high res 4K. Luckily though, this tool, it's not super reliable Nixboard, but you see it is capable of doing some cool stuff. And as of right now, there's no watermark in the corner, and these are pretty high res. So these are potential assets that could be used. And then sometimes in design tools, you can get it to remove the background, right? So I can just actually let's try. Let's see how it all looks together. Oh, we didn't do it here. Let's do it over here. And now in Google or whatever, you can just have it remove. Let's see how it does with that. Okay, pretty good. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And these are like super unique branded assets, right? This is cool. So you can add a drop shadow to that. Give it a little bit of.
That's really cool.
Right. I mean, that's kind of like what we're doing. Look how like synced up those glows are with it. I mean, pretty wild, huh? This is where like design kind of gets way faster. Now this is a little bit cheesy. I don't know what I'm doing with this design, but this is an example. It's kind of, the idea is just seeing how things come together and fit. And if you wanted to make like a big deck, you could potentially use those as bullets and then grab some other. I may actually go find a design like this. These are the kind of designs I have in here. Like I mainly made all these layouts just because I couldn't sleep one night. So I just took all the best design layouts out there I could find and created them. But all this stuff is in the Brand Builder Club. So stuff like this is what I spend my time doing. So maybe something like this.
Well, Andrew, we probably should let the people go. You should definitely do one more live before we leave for vacation on Thursday. So do one tomorrow or something. That's cool. I like that.
Right. I mean, that's kind of the idea, is
getting
things in place.
I love these lives. Watching the process helps me so much since you created the prompts as the new options instead of GPTs. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see if we got anything good. Okay, here, like background. It's the same kind of process. You could go in and tell it to make all these.
Oh, that's pretty. I like that.
Did we get anything? We got those.
It gives you ideas that you wouldn't even think of. Like I wouldn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. Mm-hmm. This stuff is good. Like this is not bad. I mean, this used to be so hard to do. So I'm like, I'm so picky with nowadays.
I wish we could talk to the AI and be like, "You did such a great job, sweetie. Like, good job." Maybe it responds to positive affirmations.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Not yeah, but I mean, in my other demos, you can go watch the other ones and skip through or look at the chapters to see how you can go about getting these as high res.
Queen Panur says, pick me for your last live.
Oh, did you submit one?
Did you submit? Make sure you apply. Can you show where it is again, Andrew?
Yeah, let me pull that up. Inside the course, what is going on?
Yeah.
Over here. So all the prompts I showed you today are in this library here. So over in bonuses, that whole new prompt library is where I did pretty much everything today. There's so much more in here in the course. This course is loaded with stuff, and like there's a whole bunch of like these scene generator, style transfer. These are
Sandra said that she's applying too. Cool. Yeah, apply right here, there. Yeah. And then make sure to leave a review too, because that gives you an extra entry. And then
Another
Andrew,
entry,
maybe
yes.
you could do 2 in one video.
Well, we'll see. These take about an
Just
hour. But hey, the style transfer, just so you know, how did I do the stuff I showed you with the other clients? This is where we're getting like really advanced now. Stuff that wasn't even possible before is that we're just having so much fun with. And like, it's still early days, but this is where we are creating this kind of stuff where we're actually like creating custom style prompts. So we're creating libraries of prompts for our clients that we can reliably like run images through and generate assets like this, which can be used on like actual websites. Like here's an example, right? So we're like using this stuff in the real world. So it's super cool what you can do. And that was actually being inspired by the mockups. One of the mockups down here had this cool like aura look and feel that I'm like, okay, let's make a style transfer prompt to be able to apply this kind of look to any image for this brand. So we're playing with that kind of stuff. That's very advanced, next level stuff. That's what's possible now that really wasn't possible before.
Oh, I love it. Well, get the mood board, apply, leave us a review, obviously work with the mood board and work through the system. But I mean, we love this. Andrew will probably do, one more live before vacation. I could see you, Andrew, doing a live on the vacation too. We're going to bring the mic.
I'll be around. Yeah. I'll be sharing some things. I think we're going to go back and, clip out a lot of the stuff that we've been doing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. It's a little hard to do a live while we're on vacation.
There's so many like little workflows that we've been showing in these videos that I want to just make sure we clip them out and like make it easier to find in the future. So we'll probably make a bunch of standalone videos on the channel based on all this.
Asking, where do we leave the review?
Right now on our Facebook page. So facebook.com/designhacker. That will take you there. And then there's like, I think you have to click more to see facebook.com/designhacker/reviews, I believe is the best place right now. After you've filled out the form, I link over to it.
facebook.com/designhacker/reviews.
Yeah.
Let me test it before I put it out on the thing. Yeah, lots of nice reviews there.
Interesting. Yeah. So I like to play around. Like this is how I play around with brands to see if it's functional. I call it a functional branding. And that's key in today's world. Now check this out too. I didn't even mention this. Remember those gradients?
Mm-hmm.
Automatically applied in here.
Ooh.
Look at that. See? So where did we see those? In the mock-ups, right? We were seeing some of those gradients. So we could create stuff like that pretty easily. In Google, super easy. I'm not sure, like I'm sure you could do similar stuff in Canva, but that's the idea is we have these like dynamic color palette gradients that just kind of work. Now when you go to like a call to action section, let's see. Right, if you're selling something, right? I mean, that's pretty cool. Gradients built in, so that's all part of the system. Like that's literally how I design, is using Google with a foundation like this.
Oh yeah, I love these things, the stacked stuff. Well, let's get going, Andrew.
All right, we're gonna wrap up. I could be here all day. I love doing this. Enjoy it. Hopefully this was helpful, and get the mood board method course if you haven't yet, so you can actually do this for yourself. Unlimited brands, go for it, have at it. If you're doing it for yourself, get it right. Get the foundation in place that you feel good about, and then at least you'll have a starting point that makes everything else easier.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. We've lived in Texas the last 5 years. The y'all hasn't felt natural yet, but I do love y'all. I love Texas.
Your name sounds like Philadelphia, though. I was like, is that just Philadelphia or Texas?
Philadelphia, Texas. Yeah, we're Californians living in Texas. Don't get mad at us.
Oh my gosh. 5
Anyways,
years now, so we're basically real Texans now.
we're
All
basically
right, we're
real
gonna wrap
Texans.
up. Thanks so much. Thanks, Steffi, for hanging out and helping out with the questions. And we'll talk to you all next time.
All right, see ya.